This is Shanna Duthie live at the Digital Health Studio at CES 2019. And I'm here today with Graeme Moffat, who's the Chief Scientist and VP of Regulatory Affairs for Interaxon. Welcome to the studio today.
Thank you very much for having us here.
So you just spoke on one of our panels up at the Digital Health Summit. You presented up there. So you have products that help us. We just talked a little bit about mindfulness. So let's talk about brain health and what your product does surrounding that.
Yeah, happy to. And thank you for having us here on the 10th anniversary of the Digital Health Summit. This is a very exciting place and time to be involved in the field of consumer digital health. I think that we actually got our start here 4 or 5 years ago at CES. We launched our first product, Muse, and we're back here now launching Muse 2. We were here last year with another product that took our technology for brain health and brainwave measurement into form factors that were more portable, like sunglasses. And we are now back again with 2 new products, Muse 2 and a soft EEG headband that can be worn when someone is falling asleep and wants to learn meditation through feedback or have feedback to improve their performance at a mindfulness or a meditation practice.
Wow, that's really fascinating. So how can we measure, does this measure our brain health?
It does, it measures brain waves directly. So the brain is an electrical organ and signals in the brain are communicated through electrical impulses and oscillations that synchronize different brain regions and process the information that we're processing around us all of the time, and also our own endogenously generated thoughts. So one of the things this is Muse 2. This is our latest commercial product. We launched this on October 30th, and it's been very well received. I think it's safe to say that Muse is now the world's best-selling consumer neurotechnology device. And what it does is it connects directly to the skin behind the ears, so you pop it on like that, and behind the ears and on the forehead, and it measures the direct electrical activity of the brain as measured on the surface of the scalp. So some of the brain's activity is measurable, not most of it, but some of it is measurable on the surface of the scalp. And these are gross electrical currents that are moving back and forth across the skin. We can pick those things up, and they reflect underlying brain activity. So how we interpret those signals through what we know from decades of neuroscience research and what we can now do with machine learning and very large data sets has sort of changed the game in how we bring neuroscience research out of the laboratory and into the consumer and digital health space for everyday mental health and wellness.
Right, so what kind of things can we learn and use this for? What are some of the applications?
So there are a number of different applications. We have neuroscientists all over the world using Muse for research in all kinds of different applications where they couldn't necessarily get access to an electroencephalogram device before because they were, these things used to cost $100,000, and now you can pick one up for $249. That's a pretty big difference, and it makes research tools much more accessible. But the biggest use case is really the end user who wants to learn how to meditate. So one of the biggest challenges in learning a mindfulness practice is feedback. Humans learn through feedback. And well, for that matter, all animals learn through feedback. But humans especially require a lot of feedback, and we learn faster through feedback, we learn better. So what Muse does is it takes brain activity directly in real time, translates that into a pleasant auditory environment, a virtual auditory environment. So it can be a rainforest or a beach or a desert, and the weather will change in response to how much your mind is wandering or how much you bring your locus of control, your focus essentially, back to a stable and steady state. So the ability to concentrate is really what that's teaching you. And that we build an entire learning framework around that to help teach people how to control their cognition and get better at meditation. What's so exciting about Muse 2 is that it goes beyond just direct brain measurement into measuring how the brain interacts with the body. So there's something called the autonomic nervous system, which is reflected in our heart rates, our heart rate variability, our breathing rate, our digestion. There are nerves that innervate all of these organs that are connected directly to the brain and are modulated by brain activity, and these in turn modulate the brain itself. So this mind-body connection is a very, very powerful thing. How we feel emotions, we feel them in our body. We feel stress in our body. We carry it around in our shoulders. So the ability to measure this directly, to measure cardiac physiology through some of the new sensors in Muse, and in turn to be able to deduce things about breathing rate, allows us to do much more powerful forms of feedback and to help people to be more able to sense their own bodies. So there's a word for this, it's called interoception. Interoception is our ability to sense our own bodies, internal processes of our bodies. And you can measure this just by asking people to count their heartbeat. And if they're very accurate at it, they have high interoception, and vice versa. If they're low at it, that's not so great. One of the most interesting things about that is that our emotional reactivity is reflected in our ability to accurately count our heartbeats. So there are so many powerful things that we're really just scratching the surface of in the mind-body connection that I think really open up interesting opportunities to be able to measure and create new tools to help people learn how to live better and how to make that mind-body connection healthier.
Well, that's really great. I'm really excited to see where your company goes from here and to learn and the advances that are being made. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. It's been a real pleasure.
And where do our people that would be watching this video or listening today find out more about your company?
You can check us out if you just you can Google Muse and Brain, or you can find us at choosemuse.com. We're here at CES for the entire time, which is very exciting for us because brain technology now is really flourishing at CES. We're seeing lots of it. So when we were sort of loners when we first got here, and now there's a whole community of companies that are doing really interesting stuff. So there are lots of ways to find out about this online. You can find some very interesting things on brain research through the neurotech hacker community, NeurotechX, which I'd also recommend. But just try to visit us at choosemuse.com, and we're more than happy to answer questions.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
And this is Shanna Duthie here at Digital Health Studio Live at CES 2019.